The government of the Gambia, through the Central Bank, on Thursday hosts the 2023 Community of African Banking Supervisors Conference and meeting at the Sadauda Kairawa Jawara International Conference Center. The meeting welcomes an assembly of the Association of African Central Banks and Directors of Banking Supervisions, regulators, and other high-level delegates from across the African continent. The objective of the Community of African Banking Supervisors is to contribute to the ongoing efforts to strengthening banking regulatory and supervisory frameworks in Africa. Speaking at the opening ceremony, the second Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of the Gambia, Paul Mendy, says the forum is a giant step towards the financial and economic integration.
This seminar has come at a critical moment in our history when the world is grappling with numerous challenges, including the effects of climate change, the Russia-Ukraine war, the aftermath of COVID-19, and the adverse effects on our economies. We must redouble our efforts towards achieving the common goals of expanding trade between our nations, accelerated economic growth, stabilized exchange rates, lower inflation, and the promotion of macroeconomic stability. The outcomes of your deliberations should be aimed at facilitating effective regulation of our financial systems and engendering opportunities for businesses and banking institutions to increase access to finance for our citizens.
Mr. Mendy adds that despite the rapid growth in the financial systems over the years, access to finance remains low.
With low levels of financial literacy and underdeveloped financial markets, we must therefore endeavor to increase financial inclusion as a means of alleviating poverty in our societies. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, from the domestic perspective, the Gambian economy remains resilient, gradually showing signs of recovery. This is supported by a modest rebound in tourism and private sector remittance inflows. Consequently, the economy is forecast to grow by 5.6% in 2023, which is higher than the 5.2% projected for 2022. The Central Bank, through its Monetary Policy Committee, has implemented measures aimed at achieving a balance between the two main objectives of supporting growth, but at the same time mindful of inflationary pressures.
The AACB Executive Secretary says the conference allows participants to have fruitful discussions on topical issues.
Today's conference will surely allow participants with the caliber of the experts and their experience to have fruitful discussions and deliberations on topical issues for the African continent related inter alia to climate-related financial risk, crisis management and regulation, the prudential treatment of crypto assets, and the assessment of the impact of recent macroeconomic development.
The Director of Banking at the Central Bank of the Gambia, Halima Singata, says Africa is one of the most vulnerable to climate change, as half of the 10 most affected countries are from Africa.
By extension, climate-related financial risks have the potential to affect the safety and soundness of banks through physical and transition risk, which affects various sectors in the economy. This makes it imperative for bank regulators to integrate climate-related risk in their prudential, financial, and supervisory frameworks. This calls for coordination and concerted efforts from the financial sector, regulators, and supervisors to look beyond the immediate business lines and current mandates to assess the potential impact that could arise from unmanaged risk to the global climate change.
The objective of the Community of African Banking Supervisors is to harness knowledge, resources, and expertise from within and outside the continent to enhance regulatory and supervisory capacities and facilitate capacity-building initiatives to enhance the skills of professional staff. Reporting for Kerr, Fatou, I am Fatou.